Hello, Westminster congregation. My name is Nana Nazirmu. I just graduated from Syracuse University, getting my bachelor's in science in chemistry with a concentration of medicinal chemistry. I am currently at my internship in New Jersey. I work with Merck Pharmaceuticals as a discovery chemistry intern, and I'll be here for 12 weeks. And then I will be starting graduate school in the fall. So I'll be getting my master's and hopefully my PhD after that. The purpose of my internship is to get experience in the pharmaceutical industry, and I want to try and be a part of like early discovery in the early discovery process in the pharmaceutical industry and try and make the compounds that could develop new drugs for the future. And like I wanted to help people, but I don't really like blood or like, and I didn't want to be like a doctor. So I was like, oh well, I can try and make medicine for people that, or for illnesses that don't have a cure yet. And I really want to try and find cures for diseases.
Hello, my name is Robert Quay. I've been a member of Westminster since my family moved to Albany in 2010. I recently graduated from the University of Pittsburgh on the 1st of May with a political science and French degree. I'm currently working at a small accounting firm just a little bit outside of Pittsburgh. And I plan on doing that for about a year and then hopefully pursuing a career in law by going to law school. Absolutely had a remarkable time at Pitt. It's been truly the best 4 years of my life. I've met just absolutely incredible people. I've been fortunate enough to be involved in a number of different organizations, and I get the question all the time of like, what has been the best part I've taken from Pitt? And it's similar to many things I've done in life. It's just like the people I've met, because I've had the opportunity to meet so many different people. And don't get me wrong, there's been a number of people I have not taken well to, but the majority of people I've definitely like gotten on well with them, and it's going to be vital to keep strong relations. That's one thing I've learned from a very early age, is to burn no bridges and to try and create good relations, because they help you get far. And that's honestly how I even landed a job in accounting. Some might think, oh, I studied political science and French. How did I end up working at an accounting firm? And it's because I remarkably knew someone very well who worked there, and had a position I knew enough, started gearing towards classes there. So that's definitely been the best part. It's also been nice to be away from my parents, but don't tell them I said that. All my life, I've kind of flip-flopped between what I want to do with the rest of my life. And I've always been told, you have plenty of time, you have plenty of time. And when I was a senior in high school, like I was still getting told you have plenty of time. And I was like, but I'm going to college next year. How does that make sense that I have plenty of time? So I actually came into school undeclared. I thought I was going to go the business route. And that was my plan up until the end of my freshman year. I decided I'm going to go into the route of political science and hopefully something in diplomacy or international relations. And it wasn't until one of my internships during my time at Penn, I was like, I don't think this is my calling at all. It was not the best of times. So I decided to take a step back and kind of figure things out. And then I actually ended up joining a business fraternity here at Pitt to kind of try and shape what I wanted to do. So I thought maybe I might gear into the business world, but coincidentally, after joining the business fraternity, I kind of realized I actually kind of want to do something with a political science degree. And law had always been in the back of my mind, but I never really thought much about pursuing it. And then it was kind of brewing over a few months. I was like, I'm leaning more and more towards it. I didn't know what the pull was. So my final 2 semesters, I enrolled in a couple of law classes, and they were extremely interesting. I found myself to be the most engaged in them. And yeah, that's now where I am. I'm almost certain that it's not going to change. Hopefully it doesn't change. But yeah, that's a piece of advice I've given to a lot of younger people coming up too, is that like, yeah, a lot of people say you have plenty of time to decide, you can switch so much of college, and you might think, no, I need to know now. And that's just absolutely not the case. I think I honestly think I have great potential in the realm of helping people. It's always been um, a priority of mine. I feel like as though that's a testament to like the way I was raised, and being being very vocal for things I believe in has been one of my favorite traits that I have, and I feel like that can really resonate in this field.
All these natural disasters, all these disasters kept coming, but Elijah couldn't hear God. And then once that silence came and he heard the silence, he hears the voice of God saying, "What are you doing here, Elijah?" Which is pretty interesting to me. It's kind of like saying people usually want to hear God when something bad is happening, or when something is like doesn't go your way, or like you're in danger, and you should already like appreciate God even when it's not like you're not in times of like that some things are happening, like God should already be there with you before that. um I think because I haven't really been to church in a while, I definitely feel like the only times that I do like pray is that if like, oh, I hope that, I prosper in some way in like my schooling, or if like, oh, I hope I get a good grade on this test, or like, and I feel like I should already have God in my heart before all of that. Um, which is like so, it's like really bad. Oh. But yeah, I should already like appreciate God for like the simple things that I already have. I should appreciate God that I'm already in school. I should appreciate God that I'm living this life healthy. I should appreciate God and think of God like in like the little things that I do, my family, um, being able to like go to work. So yeah, I feel like that relates to me in a sense of like I do take him for granted, and I should not be doing that. I should stay in the silence, hear the silence, and be like, okay, I'm with God, God is with me.
I think the middle section where he gets up to the mountain when he was told that the Lord was going to pass by. Um, Initially, one would expect the Lord to come face to face with you, but here comes all these sort of natural disasters, the splitting mountains, breaking rocks, earthquakes. Uh, it's a very common theme in many Bible verses. It kind of made me think that you have to go through many adversities to find answers. The answers don't just automatically just present themselves to you from the very jump. It's many people like to think that way, but unfortunately, that's not how life is, and that's how not how many situations are. You kind of had to wade through the water. You get tested a lot, and you have to just fight through. As the Andrew kept saying, get up and eat. You kind of have to fight on and persevere, push through, and eventually the answers will come to light. I feel like I pray a lot, and oftentimes I want the results to happen instantaneously, or like I just have questions that I'm like, why is this happening? And it's hard to figure out those answers, but I've had to learn that patience really is a virtue. I've always wanted to get an answer immediately, and it was hard. It was definitely hard, and I think that's something over the past few years I've definitely gotten so much better at understanding, because the answers aren't always just going to present themselves immediately. It's and they appear in many different forms, and the questions that we seek, they're as random as they are. You're not always going to get an answer, or even the answer that you want, but you might have to wait on it. Patience definitely is something I've had to learn, and that's something I can relate to the ending of this.
Now when I'm at Jersey City, I like to take walks. So just like not listening to the music, hearing the nature around me, and just like walking and seeing the scenery and taking in the air and just appreciating like the world that God has built. Um, yeah, that's kind of like my internal connection to God in a sense.
Probably the summer of 2020, when COVID first hit, and I had to leave Pitt. Um, I would only see a few of my friends from time to time, because my parents, a lot of their parents were very weary of the virus. And that's one of the main reasons I took to hiking. And because wanted to pass time, wanted to stay in shape. And I found a I had a newfound appreciation for just like God's creations, because yeah, I'd spent a lot of times in the wilderness growing up, but not to this extent, not gruesome walking uphill for sometimes 13, 14 hours a day. And there were many moments that I'd be walking up, either I'd taken in by myself, or like my friends there as well. We'd kind of just stop and just like stare out, and like in silence. We just admire in silence. I'm just like, wow, like in complete awe. And that's what grounded me a lot, because I would, as tiring as a lot of those trips were, by the time we'd get back down, I'm always like, when's the next time am I going to be back out here? I'm already planning my trip for the next couple of days to be back out here, because I couldn't get enough of it, because it definitely kept me grounded. It kept me. I found something to do that could really just keep my mind straight in those times of adversity.
Thank you so much, Westminster. It really takes a village, and you guys helped me through everything, and I appreciate you guys. And thank you for listening to my story and my take on the scripture and the reflection. So thank you.
Uh, I've said this many times, and I will honestly continue to say this until I'm no longer on this earth, but I cannot thank Westminster enough for making me the person I am today. Moving to Albany, honestly, when we first moved to Albany, I was like, what even is Albany? And I can easily say and thank my parents for, because that was one of the best decisions they've ever made. Coming to Albany, meeting the people I've met, not just at school or in my neighborhood, but my Westminster family. I talk about my Westminster family a lot to my friends, and how super appreciative, because I've never met a more genuine and caring group of people in my life. All every encounter I've had from the members of Westminster, they just want to see me succeed, and they're always just so genuinely interested in what's going on in my life, how I'm doing, and then when I tell them, they just seem so proud, and that keeps me going unlike anything else, because I've met so many people here at Pitt, and just like in general, who don't really have like a strong support system. And I can tell that like that's something that's really lacking from them. And I've been so fortunate that like I've never really lived like that, because I've had so many people around me who I know genuinely care about me so much. And from the bottom of my heart, I cannot thank Westminster enough, because I will not be the person I am today without each and every one of them.